Welcome back to Let's Play Dungeons & Dragons Online Permadeath. Welcome to the travails of the Tiny Wizard as we get this Permadeath run underway properly. Alright, so I'm skipping over to the harbour here. I had to join my guild anyway, so since the last video I have guilded up, I've got my ship buffs on. And now I'm going to swap some spells around before starting on the solos. I always try and get my characters to level 2 before I start doing elites, so let's see if we can reach level 2. Right, so I'm going to ditch all the damage dealing spells for the moment, since they don't do a lot of damage when you're at level 1 anyway. Let's just put Master's Touch in and we'll use a Great Axe. And I didn't have any money to spend, so all I've got is one action point to do, and then I can go into a quest. Let's spend some time with the otherwise neglected trainers down in this part of the harbour. These people don't see a lot of use since they switched the sort of focus of the harbour to the south side. Adding more trainers there, of course. I guess I am Pal Mastering here, but probably with an Archmage specialisation as well. What would we need to begin with here? I guess I just start on Pal Master because of the... One of these is hit points, right? Yeah. So probably I just start with hit points and I'm aiming for... I'm aiming for my Skeletal Knight. Right, that'll do. Doesn't really help me right now, but will help in time. Okay, on to the solos. I always start with the solos because they're the only quests that don't have the elite options, so they don't scale up in difficulty. So you might as well do them early when they're at least slightly challenging. Although, still very slightly. Wait, do I actually have spell components for the spells that I'm using? Focus verbal, somatic verbal, focus somatic verbal. Looks like I'm good. Right, let's do it. Lag permitting. Oh, the other thing I did is choose my heirloom item, so I guess I should go over the Permadeath rules again, since as usual I kind of forgotten I needed to explain the rules, and so I ended up rushing an explanation in the middle of the last video. Okay, should be good to go here.
You have searched every area within the miller's home, save the basement.
So the basic Permadeath rule, as I explained last time, is that you can't use the resurrection shrines or release from a quest. If you do that, you have to drop the character from the guild. I always delete the character at that point and start again, as you've seen from previous videos on my account. I'm not allowed to pass down equipment, except for one heirloom item that you can carry over from a previous character. So for this character, that is the Stalwart Trinket from the Crystal Cove challenge. And you've seen that on previous characters I've done on this account. I've used that on quite a few Permadeath characters because the extra fortification and Earthen Guard makes me feel a bit safer. It's basically the best heirloom item I have, so I tend to use it on my solos, which are the characters with the greatest risk of dying. Other than that, no items passed from other players' characters or from my own characters. The guild allows you to pass items between different players if their characters are within 3 levels of each other, but I don't do that for my solos. I also don't buy stuff on the auction house for my solos. On the last non-solo character I made, I was able to come around the other side in this quest, where you get less fighting and you just have to dodge a trap over there, I think. But with this character, I'm just fighting my way through.
Ever bright lamps litter the basement floor. Someone was trying to quash the lights.
I always think there's a collectible over here for some reason, and there's not. It's over here. What am I thinking?
The miller has told you the goods meant for the coin lords are in the back room of the basement.
So you're not allowed to sell stuff on the auction house or anywhere else for above its list price, which is a way of stopping you accumulating too much money. Not that that's really a big deal. Certainly since I don't use the auction house, it's not a big deal. The one thing I allow myself to buy in the auction house is tomes if I need them for the build, but I won't need any for this character. Are there any other rules worth mentioning?
You have acquired the miller's goods.
Not that I can think of right now. Like I said, I will link the guild rules in the description of the first video for the series. Alright, first real quest done. Although the solos are all very easy, of course. And I'm going to go sell some of these arrows a moment in case it gets me enough money to buy healing potions. Okay, I did, from selling those +1 bolts, have just enough money for 2 healing potions. I always love the way there are these small spiders, described as small in the game, but they're clearly absolutely terrifyingly huge. So for level 1 on a wizard, you don't really do enough damage with your ranged attacks for it to be worth trying to cast many spells. I think on the previous wizard I played I probably did try and do a bit more spell damage, but this time I'm not even going to bother. Let's wait for level 2 and do it then. Even at level 2 it will still be barely worth doing.
The spiders no longer infest the eastern wing of the crypt.
Okay. Time for the north and south sections. I might need those healing potions. I'm actually taking a bit of damage. Have really terrible AC, of course. Well, I did pick up a +1 protection ring on that last quest, which is very welcome. I should be pulling these one by one, really. I should go slightly more carefully since I don't want to use both my healing potions up in here. Yeah, I think the Great Axe was a good choice from the Grotto. I often go for the sort of min-max approach of taking the wand of the Spark of Fire wand, or whatever it's called. Since that's a unique item you can't get anywhere else, and it is kind of useful. But actually level 1 is, it's better to optimize for level 1 really.
From the crypt's northern wing.
Okay, I only dropped another 8 or so hit points on that section. I might get away without using any healing potions. Okay, there's another one. I can't remember if I mentioned it at the start of the video, but I did switch keyboards. After listening to the playback of the previous session, I realised I was using my best keyboard for typing, but it's a bit noisy for recording. The downside of this keyboard is it's much smaller, so I don't like it if I'm playing in a group. It's harder to pick out the individual F keys if you're healing and you need to heal a particular other character in the group. Okay, we got through that section, dropping hardly any hit points. I think I will get away without using my healing here. If not, this will be the most embarrassingly short permadeath run that I've done. And I would have to battle with my conscience to decide if I would actually upload the 2 videos to show me dying in the solo quest. Well, that was actually pretty close. Alright, I'm going to cut from here to the Cerulean Hills, where I will attempt to get to level 2, possibly. It's the other place I can do that doesn't require me to do Elite. Alright. I actually had a look at the crafting hall in the interval there. Thinking I could get some free XP for doing the crafting tutorial, but I don't have enough money to do the crafting tutorial, of course. So, Cerulean Hills it is. It's a pity from the point of view of what I'm doing here that you can't do Corpus Island at level 1 without having done the quests first. Even having skipped ahead in the storyline, you still can't do the island without doing the quests that lead up to it. Because it would make much more sense to be doing the level 1 explorer area than the level 2. Wow, so many misses. And enfeeblement's not good. Ooh, that's really not good. Okay, my Master's Touch didn't go off, that's why I'm getting my ass kicked here. Well, plus I got enfeebled, I guess. Okay, hitting at +5 again now. That is better. I must have messed up casting my Master's Touch. That was a bit rough. Okay, my strength is reasonable again now. Fortunately, I can just shrine over in the corner there in a moment. Yeah, so having to do the level 2 explorer area rather than the level 1 when I'm at 1 in order to get some XP is a bit rough, but it's quite doable. It's certainly easier doing this explorer area than doing any level 1 quests on Elite. So I guess I should clarify what I'm doing. So I like to do quests on hard or Elite the first time, if possible. And I generally try and do most of Corpus Island Elite first time. So that's why I'm not going into the level 1 quests while I'm at level 1, because I want to do them on Elite or at least hard. But I don't want to do them while I'm at level 1. So I'm not really powerful enough to do that yet. So I'm hoping these explorer areas and the solo quest will be enough to get me to level 2. Because there's no Elite for explorer areas, so they're relatively easier than the quests. For now at least. Okay, I'm not really looking for kills out here. If I just get the explorers, that will be enough XP to be a big boost.
The faint sounds of an argument over the price of several objects escapes from the cave. You're fairly certain none of the items being discussed were legally obtained.
So I'm thinking that I should have swapped spells to have Charm Person before I go in that cave, really. Let's focus on the explorers. When I get to another shrine, I will swap spells and come back. Well, I've already used up my healing potions again.
Carved statues of hideous creatures line this white marble dais.
For some reason, I'm expecting a wildcat up here. Maybe I am remembering wrongly. In the game, it is similar, but not that similar. Okay, there he is. But it was in that cluster of trees there. Lots of enemies at once.
Has long since collapsed. Someone must have dug one too many times.
I don't think I'm going to make it to the shrine in here, am I? I'm losing too many hit points. Definitely do not want to go through the valley of lines there. I like my chances better with these bugbears. Where are the other shrines in here? I guess I could deliberately cut across. Go for the shrine at the temple far away. Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting kind of cut to pieces in here. Wizard is not a strong option at level 1.
Rotted wood overgrown with several vines now resides where a majestic vineyard once stood. A paper label on the ground reads, Vintage, 978 YK.
This caravan has been looted and ripped to pieces. Judging from the debris, this happened quite recently.
Okay, I might make it to the shrine. Or I might have to recall if I take any more damage. I'm definitely not tangling with that cave there.
The road continues east into territory controlled by hostile Gruul tribe orcs.
If we make it to the shrine, then we're good. But I can't afford to have all these guys behind me in case there are lots of wildcats on the shrine, which there usually are. Yeah, I don't know. This is all a bit scary. Okay, I've got something of an escape route now. I'm probably not fast enough to run away from any lions I encounter. On the plus side, I do have a bit of spot on this character, so I should be able to see them. Or at least I have some chance of seeing them. Alright, nope, we're done. We're not going to make it. So let's get back to Corvus. I will start the next video on Corvus Island. I'm clearly not up to the Cerulean Hills on this character. See you next time.